Hiya and welcome to A Life That Glows Friday Yoga. My name is Tanya Neely. Today I have a wonderful practice for you to help you stop blaming your body, absolve it of all of its would-be sins, and at the same time forgive yourself for blaming it in the first place. Now, as perfectly imperfect as our body is, it shows up for us every single day. It fights for us when we're sick, it finds ways to preserve and protect us, and it carries us through the world. It's time to take that blame and shift it away from the body and really start to honor ourselves for all the ways that this vessel shows up for us. In this practice today, we'll be opening up through the heart and the hips and practicing acceptance, forgiveness, and letting go. You might want to grab a pillow or a block or book and something comfy, and I will meet you on the mat. Let's do this together. Today we're going to start out in child's pose, but I brought along an essential oil blend with me today that's called Forgive, which is perfect for this practice. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my pulse points and over my heart and a little bit in my palm. Rub those together, cup, and inhale, getting an immediate response to deepen the breath. You know, I'm also going to put a little bit on my mat today, right around the area where my nose is going to be. So let's take the big toes to touch, bring those knees wide, and just walk those hands out, bringing the forehead down to the mat. Let your abdomen be soft as you start to bring your awareness to your breath. Hips are slowly shifting back towards the heels. Soften through the forehead, the eyes, and the jaw. Know that we're all on this journey together. We're all learning and growing. There will be mistakes and offenses and transgressions, and we can meet them with compassion and forgiveness when necessary. Again, let that belly be soft as you deeply inhale. Feel the ribcage expand in all directions. And exhale, let it go. One more like that. Inhale deeply. And exhale, haw it out. Keep that deep inhale and exhale, moving the breath, the prana, the energy through the body. It can become a guide for your movement. Today our practice is about absolving the body, shifting the blame away from the body. Often how we feel about our body guides our body image, or what we allow ourselves to do or be. It impacts us way more than our body actually looks physically on the outside. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And while the practice today is about forgiving ourselves for blaming the body, just check in with you. Perhaps there might be something or someone else that needs forgiveness. Feel free to keep it or them in mind as well. I'm going to walk the hands together, press the palms, and then let the elbows connect to the earth as you lift your hands up. Maybe those thumbs come towards the back of the neck. Maybe they pause somewhere earlier. Walk those elbows out a little wider if that feels good. Find a deep breath here. Exhale, take those hands back down. I'm going to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, bringing the forehead along. Maybe left hand comes on top of right palm. Breathe into that left side body. Let your breath be an experience. Notice its texture, It's sound. And slowly release. Walk those hands over to the other side. Maybe right palm comes on top of left, maybe not. Release into the mat. Breathe into the right side body. Happy sighs are always welcome. Walk those hands back to center. We're going to come up on the forearms. Shift those knees a little closer together. Feet come together. Let the hips come back. Forehead reaches down to the mat. Leave the forehead on the mat. Take those arms back behind you, grabbing onto the heels. Tuck chin in towards the chest. We're bringing our weight up towards the top of the head. I'm going to pull into my heels as I lift up with my hips curling through the back, rounding through the back body. And the more I pull into my heels, the bigger sensation I'll get in my upper shoulders. Stay here for 3, 2, hold the pose, not the breath. And 1, slowly lower those hips. And just curl on up. Nice, and we'll come into tabletop. Aligning shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let the tops of the feet come down onto the mat. And just notice if you're tucking the pelvis in here. We tend to do that a lot as women, and we tend to hold this area of our body quite a bit. Just relax. Let that natural lumbar arc find its way. Nice, let's find our cat and cow here. On an inhale, press the palms into the earth. Begin to drop the belly, tilt the pelvis, lift the chin long through the back of the neck. And exhale, curl it in, tuck the pelvis, tuck the chin, press down through the palms. Inhale, cow pose, arch through the back. Gazing at the wall ahead of you, exhale, curl it in. And begin to ride your own breath here. Begin to let your body move as it needs to. Maybe that means a wave-like motion or a barrel roll, hip circles. I can give you all the cues in the world, but I can't be in your body. I can't know exactly what you need today, but I can encourage you to begin to curate your own practice. Trust the signs your body gives. Stop blaming it for what it can't do or doesn't look like, and invite you to appreciate it for what it does for you. Take one more round. We'll meet in tabletop. I'm going to press down through that right palm. Inhale, sweep the left fingertips high. And exhale, thread the needle. Right palm stays planted, left arm reaches underneath. And maybe you push into the floor with that right palm, finding the twist that you need. Maybe your ear meets the mat. See if you can relax through the neck, the shoulders. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Unwind. Left fingertips reach high. And gently set it back down. Let's take it to the other side. Left hand plants. Inhale, sweep right fingertips high. Exhale, thread the needle. Right ear meets the mat. Maybe that left palm pushes the mat away, creating more of a twist. Find what works for your body. You're here for 3, 2, and 1. Press down to unwind, unwrap, lift the right fingertips high, and set them down. Nice. We're going to come to puppy pose. So my hips are going to stay right where they are. I'm going to slowly walk my hands out. This can be a deep shoulder stretch, so maybe your forehead comes to the mat, maybe chin comes to the mat. And if that's too much, grab one of those blocks as a nice forehead support. Paying attention to the story your body has to tell, starting to build that muscle of awareness, that body trust. Notice if the toes start to drag up towards the ankles, bring them back down. Press the tops of the feet into your mat. You're here for 3 full breaths. Tune in. Make the breath an experience. Notice what your body wants to say. And slowly slide those hips back to child's pose. Bowing one last time, honoring this body that holds you, supports you, shows up for you each day, fights off germs, pumps blood. All these things we don't have to think about. And slowly shift back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes, shift the hips up high, down dog. Walk those feet up to the top. Finding a steady foundation, bend the knees a lot. Curl your way up the spine. Let the arms reach up past the ears, fingertips nice and high. Bringing palms to touch, and then draw the hands down in front of the heart. Close the eyes. Check in. Lift all 10 toes, spread them wide. Press them down to leave a footprint. And then soften through the knees, untuck the pelvis. Release the shoulder blades down the back. And you can join me in my intention today or create one of your own. Today I choose to shift the blame from my body. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Open those eyes. Inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, fold it forward. Find a half lift. Drag the palms up to that hip crease. Press into the thigh bones. Push the crown of the head away. On an exhale, sweep the hands back down. Plant the palms. Step it back to a plank. Find an inhale here. Drop knees, drop chest to the mat. Take those hands out wide. Curl the toes under. On an inhale, little cobra. And exhale, release it down, surrender. 2 more. Inhale with the breath. Peel the chest up. Exhale, surrender, release it down. Last one. And release it back to the mat. Plant those palms. Come up through tabletop. Curl those toes, down dog. Shift hips high. Make any adjustments that you need. Find a deep inhale here. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. We're going to bring that left foot forward. Plant it between the palms for a low lunge. Stay up on those right toes. Shine the heart between the shoulders. Nice. Runner's lunge. Drop the right knee, curl the toes, and walk the left foot out to about a 45. Hands come to the inside of that left leg. Inhale, find some length. And then exhale, deepen, surrender into your runner's lunge. Maybe you stay on the palms. Maybe you come down to the forearms. Maybe you use that block to support the forehead. Breathe into those hips. A storehouse of emotion. And come back to your intention. As you're holding a posture, breathe into that absolution, that forgiveness. Your body is not to blame. Slowly come on up. Walk that left foot inside. We're going to come back to a half split. So walk the hands back. Left leg lengthens. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Again, finding the depth that you need, that your hamstring says is just enough. And maybe you flex or point through that left foot. And find some stillness. We'll release, walk those hands up. I'm going to turn my right toes to the back of the mat. Bring the hands to the front. Extend my left leg long. Inhale, sweep my arms up nice and high. Gate pose, drop that right hand. Left hand reaches long. Nice. Supported side plank for 3, 2, and 1. And plant that left hand. Turn the right toes to the back. Press through that left heel. Step it back, find your plank. Inhale, find some strength. Exhale, down dog. Let's take it back in the opposite direction. Right foot reaches forward. Low lunge, lift through the heart. And then drop the knee. Curl the toes, runner's lunge. Walk that right foot out to a 45. Hands come to the inside. Inhale for length. Exhale for depth. Again, maybe that block comes underneath the elbows, underneath the forearms. Maybe there's a better spot for it just for you. Breathing into that hip. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Feeling its texture, hearing its sound. Like one more breath cycle here. And exhale, release it up. Take that block out the way if you used it, and then walk it back for a half split, extending through that right leg. Again, inhale, length, exhale, depth. And then bend and straighten as feels good through that right leg, that right ankle. And then find some stillness. Nice, we're gonna release, walk it up. Turn the left toes to the back. Hello, pillow. Break the hands around. Stretch that right leg out long. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, drop that left hand. Reach the right fingertips overhead. Feel this nice long side body stretch, top to toe. Our bones, our muscles moving us through the day, providing the steady foundation. Our heart beating, lungs breathing, day in, day out. One more breath here. And then drop that right hand, bring those left toes around. Press through the right heel. Step that left foot back, plank pose. Inhale, down dog, exhale. Nice, drop the knees, bring it back to child's pose. Hips come to heels, forehead comes to the mat. Find power in your pause. Again, repeat that intention. Today I choose to absolve my body of blame. Forgive myself for blaming. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Notice any emotion that comes up for you as you say that aloud or whisper it to yourself. And you can create all kinds of habits or behaviors to avoid feeling our emotion. Today I invite you to just let it come, let it move with the breath. I like to tell my girls that feelings are like farts. They come and some stink up the place for a little while, but they don't last forever. Eventually they go. Take one more deep breath here. Exhale. Let's bring it up to tabletop. We'll take this flow one more time. Curl the toes, down dog, shift hips high. One breath, one movement. Here we go. Find an inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, bring that left foot forward, plant it. Nice. Exhale, drop the knee, take that left foot out, runner's lunge. Inhale, find some length. Exhale, depth. Full breath cycle here. Exhale, release it up. Walk that left foot back in. Take those hands back, half split. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. One more breath cycle here. Exhale, walk it forward. Right toes turn to the back. Hands come around to the front. Extend that leg long. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, drop the right palm long, side body stretch. Plant that left palm, turn those toes. Press through the left heel, plank pose. Inhale, strength, love. Exhale, down dog. Opposite side, here we go. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. Inhale, right foot forward, low lunge. Exhale, drop the knee, walk that right foot out. Inhale, length. Exhale, depth, runner's lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, release. Turn those left toes to the back. Walk those hands around. Right leg extends. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, drop left hand. Big side body stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, plant that palm. Turn the toes. Press through the right heel. Inhale, step it back. Plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Find 2 deep inhales and exhales here. Nice. We'll take it forward to plank. And you can take a little push up all the way down, or you can drop the knees and bring the chest, the belly down, the hips down. Curl those toes under. We're going to bring the forearms ahead of us, palms flat on the mat for Sphinx pose. I'm going to pull my elbows towards the back edge of my mat as I reach my heart between my shoulders. Gaze is on the wall ahead of me. Feeling into sensation in the upper back. Notice how your breath feels in this position where it's a little bit harder for the belly to expand, the diaphragm to drop. Then slowly release. Take those elbows out to the side. Make a little pillow with the hands. Take an ear to your hands and just relax. Maybe the big toes come to touch and heels flop open. Moving between effort and ease. Let the breath be full and deep. Nice. Let's take it to the lower body, coming back up. I'm just going to shift down a little bit. Nice. Let's take it to the lower body. Hands come alongside the body. Nose, mouth, chin reaches towards the mat. Can leave the hands here or interlace them behind you. Reach the knuckles back. Zip up the legs. Press the hip bones, the pubic bone into the mat. And then lift up through the wrists, up through the back body, up through the back of the legs for half locust. Bringing all that effort, all that work, all that activation, all that awareness to the lower body. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the opposite ear to the mat. Maybe using those hands as a pillow again. Nice. Let's plant those hands under the shoulders. Push back up through tabletop, and we're just going to walk the knees up and come to stand on the knees. Now, if you have a little bit of tenderness in the knees, you can always double up or triple up on your mat. Create a little bit more of a cushion. Coming into camel pose, big heart opener. So hands reach into would-be back pockets. Elbows squeeze together, working to touch. Not really, but figuratively. And we're going to press the hips a little bit forward. Inhale, imagine the string lifting up your heart and then arching over a giant beach ball. Pausing at that just right point. Knowing that it can feel really vulnerable to have your chest exposed, your heart and your throat open. See if you can come back to that breath, that sensation, the texture. Make it deep. And slowly bring it back up. Let the hips come down toward the heels. Walk it out, child's pose. Pause here. Let that go. Maybe repeat that intention one last time. And slowly come up. Let that mat loose if you tucked it under. Plant the hands, come back up through down dog. Nice. Pigeon pose. We're going to take that right knee, draw it up between the palms. Your shin might come to parallel with the front edge of your mat. Mine hasn't in about 13 years or so. So no worries. And if this feels like too much, you can always grab a pillow or a block, set it right underneath that hip. Give yourself a little bit of space, a little bit of extra support. Honor what your body needs, what it asks for today. Find an inhale here. And exhale, slowly walk those hands out. Find your just right stopping point. Maybe it's up here, maybe forearms meet the mat. Maybe you fold all the way over that leg. Each stopping point is valid. Each stopping point is just as much pigeon pose as any other stopping point. You're here for 5 full breaths. Getting into the outer hip. In runner's lunge, we worked on the groin. Now we're building our awareness in the outer hip, using our breath to breathe into any tightness or tension, any blame that still wants to hang out there, and each exhale lets it go, washes it away from the body. Slowly come up. Walking those hands back, plant the palms, curl left toes, come back to down dog, and if you like, you can open that hip, let the right heel drape over the body, and then set it back down. Nice, we're going to take that left leg forward for pigeon pose, laying the right leg on the mat. Inhale, find some length, and exhale, finding the depth that works just right for you. Knowing that one side might be different than the other. One day might be different from the next. Deepening that breath. And continuing to build that awareness of physical sensation, emotion, and thought. So you're better able to respond to the moment at hand rather than react. Take one more full breath here. Let it out, exhale. Last one. And release, walk those hands up, plant the palms, make your way back up to down dog, or if you like, you can bring the left toes up and let them drape over, opening the hip one last time, and then send it back to down dog. Bring that gaze forward, walk, step, hop, jump those feet to the top, and then we're just going to come down to the mat and all the way down to laying down. I'm going to leave the left leg long, grab that right knee, hug it in, give it a squeeze, roll through that ankle in both directions. Let the right arm lay out like a wing, and then guide the right knee across the body with the left hand. Gaze comes towards the right, working towards keeping those shoulders connected to the mat. Breathing into your twist. And flex through that left foot. Imagine you were standing on your mat, building some muscle memory for doing the same pose as a standing pose. Slowly release, come back through center, give it one more squeeze, and lay it long. We'll take it to the other side. Left knee comes in, give it a squeeze. Left arm goes long, and then guide the left knee across the body, gaze turning away. Flexing through that right foot. Keep that right leg engaged. And then see where else in your body you can surrender to the mat. Surrender to the twist. Surrender to your body. One more full breath. Nice. Bring it back through center. Give that knee one more squeeze. Lay that leg long. We're going to let the arms come alongside the body for fish pose. So my palms, my forearm, my elbows are going to press into the mat. I'm going to puff up my chest, lift it up, and then let the top of my head rest gently on the mat. One last big heart opener here. Breathe. And slowly release, puff it up just a little bit, roll down the spine. And prepare for Shavasana. Now your Shavasana can be just like this today. You can bring soles of the feet to touch, let the knees come open, Supta Baddha Konasana if you want a little bit more into the hips here. You can also take a pillow or a long bolster under the back to open up the heart a little bit more. Find what works well for you. We'll take one hand to the heart, one hand to the navel. Both energetic centers, seats of our gut instinct, our inner knowing, our second brain. We started our practice today with the essential oil blend, Forgive. This practice on the mat is a reflection of our practice off the mat. It's all practice after all, isn't it? We practice our interactions with ourselves and others, even if we don't consider it or realize it as practice. And there will be offenses and transgressions. There will be blame. May we take the time to shift the blame away from the body, to instead sit with and explore the emotion and the thought behind that blame, to name it, to label it, to let it move through us and let it go. Today we absolve the body. Today we forgive ourselves for blaming the body. Today we choose to treat ourselves well. Thank you so much for joining me today for this yoga practice to shift the blame away from the body. If you missed the Wednesday blog, please do click the link below or in the cards to re-watch that and get a better understanding of how we blame the body and how it can impact our lives on and off the mat. If you're interested or would like more information about that Forgive essential oil blend I mentioned, check out the description below as well. If this practice really landed for you today, please comment below, give it a like, hit subscribe so you don't miss a beat. I'm here with you each Wednesday for a vlog chat and each Friday for a yoga practice. And if you know a woman who struggles with her body image or body blame, please consider sharing this message with her and this channel with her.